Well, hey there, and welcome to Mr. C's presentation on behavior charts. Yeah, and why we're going to standardize them. We have a few reasons for standardizing a couple levels of everyone's behavior chart in the school, and we're going to tell you why. Because I know that you're already asking, why? Why something else? Why do we have to do this? We have a few good reasons for it. When the office gets a kid, they want to know that they've already gone through a few standard steps, things that they feel should happen before any kid goes to the office. Kind of makes sense. Secondly, it's going to help teachers recognize when they're sending a kid to the office for a good reason, and it kind of gives the teacher a chance to go through a few steps and maybe cool down a little bit. I know I have problems with that occasionally. We're all human, it happens, but it's going to help us as teachers cool down and deal with these behavior problems in maybe a slightly better way. And finally, we want these kids in the classroom. Most of the kids that have trouble or get kicked out, or are chronic offenders need to be in the class more than the kids who don't. So to continually kick them out or to remove a kid from the classroom on a regular basis really isn't good for them. Okay, so what's going to change? Rule number 1. The second to last level of your behavior chart in your classroom has to include a refocus sheet of some sort. So you can make your own. You can get it from another teacher. The office is going to have one. I know Ryan has one that's pretty good that both he and I use. But there's one in the office. I'm pretty sure Kim has it. If you want to use that one, you can use that one or make up your own. The one thing that has to be standard on everyone's is there has to be a place for parents to sign it because we're going to send these home, and we're also going to make copies of them. Second floor teachers, there's a rumor floating around that there's going to be a copier upstairs, like a small copier that's going to be used for this purpose only. So both upstairs and downstairs teachers will have a chance to make copies of these sheets so that a page can be sent home, but more importantly, a page can be saved by the teacher. It's going to help keep a record of behavior for kids who are chronic offenders or who are getting in trouble a lot. And, hopefully that's going to get us some more sympathy and some more support if we actually have these offenses documented. So, okay, there you go. Rule number 2. Sorry. The final level of our behavior chart is going to have something along the lines of call home. You got to call home. There's been complaints to the office that kids are getting sent to the office and parents aren't even being called about it. So everyone's final level for their behavior chart is going to be to call home. There's no question that that's annoying to stop your instruction and to deal with a kid who's screwing around. You're probably already angry, and usually it just makes me angrier that I have to then stop and give all the attention to this kid. Especially when half the phone numbers that are in IC don't even work. It sends a message to the kids that we mean business as teachers. Even though a kid may pretend like they don't care that you're calling home a lot, and maybe they don't, probably 90% of the kids sitting in the classroom are scared stiff when you're calling anyone's parents. So, it really sends a message to the group that we as teachers are not afraid to get parents involved with the classroom. Parents that have working phone numbers also appreciate this. So the final step on your behavior chart is going to involve some sort of home contact, and it has to be a phone call, I would think, or some sort of immediate contact. Like sending a note home doesn't count. Okay, you have to try to contact the parents in some way immediately. I know I have an application on my phone that sends text messages, not from my actual phone number. I would assume that if the offense were mild, you might be able to get away with something like that. But make sure that it happens as your final behavior modification technique. Okay? So the third new rule is basically we're getting rid of sending kids to the office. When you lose your temper, you're get out of here, get out of the office, I'm gonna lose my mind, tear my hair out. There's no more of that. Instead, we're calling the office for administrative assistance. And this could come in a couple of different ways. In the office, they're going to tell you what they want you to do. But you shouldn't even have like send kid to the office or administrative assistance on your behavior chart. This is like an above and beyond thing. This is, to me, I think kids see this as even something more severe. I mean, if you have it on your behavior chart, to them it's just another step. You know, they know they're not really in trouble until they get to that last step anyways, right? So why not make that last step call home to their parents? And then if that doesn't work after that, you know, end of the world, basically, is how they're going to see it. Or it's going to be catastrophic, let's say, because you're going to call the office, and someone in the office, Kim or Dr. H or whoever's there as their proxy at the time, will then make the decision. Are they going to come to the room to deal with the problem immediately? Hopefully. They promised me that this would be a prompt arrangement here, where if we called, the problem would be taken care of. So either they're going to head to your room immediately, or they're going to ask you to send the kid down, depending on what's going on. But the office staff, the person in the office, is going to make that call. Okay? So it's no longer the teacher just sending kids out of the room. And finally, you have to have gone through the previous 2 steps, or the final 2 steps in your behavior chart or your behavior mod plan, in order to call for administrative assistance. Okay? So if you want to call for AA, then you have to have done a refocus sheet for the kid, and you have to have called home or tried to call home. Okay? I know immediately you're all going, no! What about when we need immediate and absolute automatic administrative assistance? There's sometimes when kids... Okay. Calm down. There's a few offenses, obviously, where you can call for help immediately. Go ahead and read down the list. Graffiti, racial, sexual, and physical harassment, weapons, assault with intention to harm, drugs, fighting, bullying, stealing money or teacher's property or whatever, a kid being a danger to themselves or others, or spreading waste. Yeah. So any of those offenses warrant immediate and automatic administrative assistance. You don't have to worry about the behavior mod plan. You can go right down them. And yes, there's a couple more, basically chronic behavior. So if a kid is like, won't get off your case, if a kid is constantly defiant, or if they're disrupting continually, then you can call for administrative assistance. I mean, to me, they're probably already down there on your behavior chart anyways. So, I mean, I guess I don't exactly understand the application of chronic disruption, because the kid has probably already been taken care of, or an administrative person has already been called. You know, I would assume that this means, yes, if Kim or Dr. H or somebody comes to the room, takes care of the problem, goes away, and then they continue the problem, instead of going back down the behavior chart, you could then call the office or call for administrative assistance again. Okay? So, you think you got it? Those are the 3 new rules. That's it. And if you think you have it, if you think you understand it, you're going to have to prove it. Pick one of the following 3 things. You can send an email to Kim, just outlining or describing your opinion on this. Not that anything is going to change, perhaps, but maybe you have some insights. Maybe you can just express some understanding just to prove that you watched this video and you got it. Or if you want to take a picture of your behavior chart and show that you've included these things, you can then email it or text it to Kim. Maybe we'll showcase some of these somewhere, or we'll use good ones as examples for teachers who have questions with it. Or finally, if you really can't handle this, or if you're really not getting it, then we have a meeting next Friday, October 19th. The discipline committee will meet in the morning before school, usually around 7:45, and we would like you to come. Please do one of these 3 things. If you don't do one of these 3 things, someone will track you down and point fingers at you and harass you. And you'll deserve it at that point. Okay, so hopefully this helped. Of course, if you have any questions, you can contact anyone from the discipline committee if you're familiar with any of those people, or Kim directly. Thank you, and have a great day.